And we're live. That was probably super weird. Don't know what I just did with my hand. But what's going on, everybody who's watching this back on replay, because nobody's in the chat yet. Hope y'all are all having a good day. I'm going to just be tongue twisted right now. So anyways, it just showed up that I was live. So what we're going to do, what's up in Pain We Trust, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little normal Q&A live stream, and then I'm planning on doing a little Call of Duty live stream later, because right now the Black Ops 4 beta is out, but I don't have a PS4, so my beta is not till next weekend. So I'm just going to shake a little dust off, might play a little bit this week and live stream it. But right now we're just going to do a normal live stream. Normal live stream. So what is up, everybody? Good Lord, there's a lot of haze. Hi, everybody. Ryan Part, Ryan Coleman, David Lay, John Sullivan, Mia Jess, John Frax, Joe Fish Stallis, Roman 1400, Ashton Jenkins, Jeneth Lawson. Let's skip down a little bit more. Hi, Matt Ward. How are you doing today? I am doing fantastic. Went and shot some guns and weapons and stuff earlier today, so that was fun. How's your week been? My week has been ridiculous. Join the Canadian Forces. What? Do you think you could get deployed? I will not be deployed right now because I have not finished my Bullock training. So do I think I will be deployed? No, I will not be deployed right now. ASVAB tips. I don't know. Don't stress too much about the ASVAB. So if you guys didn't know, whenever you go to the recruiter's office, you generally will take a practice ASVAB at the recruiter's office, and then whatever score you get there is generally a little bit lower than what you get at the actual ASVAB generally. I'm not saying definitely, but if you get a 50 at the recruiter's office, you might get like a 60 on the actual ASVAB. But ASVAB tips, if you are worried about it, so you should know yourself pretty well. Am I smart? Am I not that smart? Am I average, right? And the ASVAB is important because you want to do good on the ASVAB so that you can get a good job that you want. You're going to open up opportunities for bonuses and everything if you get a good ASVAB score. So you should figure out, am I smart, stupid, or mediocre intelligence or whatever for taking tests and, SATs or whatever. And if, you think you need to study. Take the ASVAB. If you don't do well enough or as well as you wanted to, then take it again the next month, study some more. You'll be able to see your line scores and everything, so that's my tip. One of the most common things that people ask me about the ASVAB is they ask, is the ASVAB hard? And it's like, it wasn't that hard for me, but is it going to be hard for you? I don't know. I did fine on the ASVAB, and I didn't study or anything, and so it wasn't difficult for me. But will it be difficult for other people? Yes, there are other people who struggle on the ASVAB. You skipped my name. Who did I skip? Gosh, the chat just jumped up. What patches did I get? Let me see on this letter. What is this one? This one is of my last unit. It's the 316th Expeditionary Sustainment Command. Would be this one over here. And then the other one that I got this week, what is it? Does it say it on this thing? No, this is the challenge coin one. What is this one? Let me reach over here. I keep all my letters and stuff that I get. No, this is the old ROTC patch that somebody sent me. So the letters are over there, but I haven't remembered all of the patches that I've gotten because I don't recognize all of them. I see like the 1st Infantry and all that stuff. But anyways, you skipped me. Kerwin. That's what it was. Anyways, I love your channel. Love you too. Well, thank you, Reagan Prewitt. Anyways, hi, I'm a 13 Bravo. Just left Fort Sill. Well, you're left like you just graduated from Fort Sill. That is freaking awesome. So congratulations on that. Is there any way to study for the test? So if you're talking about the ASVAB, the previous thing that I just talked about, you can study for the ASVAB by buying a book to study for the ASVAB, or you can take online quizzes. The ASVAB is composed of a whole bunch of different topics and stuff, but let's say you suck at math, then you might want to brush up on your algebra skills, your geometry, trigonometry, stuff like that. So yeah, you can study for it. 25 uniform, leaving October 1st. Thank you for everything, Matt. You are the best. No, you are the best, Philos Foes. You are the best. Sorry I'm late, Dad. Your boy, Jacob. which country is the danger to deploy to and why? So you're saying like which country is the most dangerous? I don't know which one's like the most dangerous. Like we are really doing a lot of stuff, and for example, my brother is about to deploy to a country, which I probably shouldn't say. So never mind. We'll just skip what I was about to say. That's probably I shouldn't say it. Luke, good to see you. LT can't stay. Just wanted to say hi and God bless. Luke, what is up? You are the man. Thank you for the $5 super chat. What's the best job to go after? The best job to go after is the one that lines up with what you want to do the most. So if you want to be in technology, go a 25 series job. If you want to do police-ish stuff, go an MP, which would be 31 series. If you want to do intelligence and you want to plan out things, and you want to look at a map or look at all this information and things, you might want to go MI, military intelligence, things like that. If you want to work on vehicles, you can be some kind of mechanic. So there's no best MOS, right? It's not like infantry is the best MOS. It's not like my old 125 Bravo is the best MOS. It's not like any MOS is the best MOS to go after. It just depends on what you want to do. Thoughts on 18 X-ray. My biggest thing is when people tell me that they're number one doing a option 40 contract, or when people say that they're doing an 18 X-ray contract, which is special forces, I'd tell you you better freaking make sure that you are physically ready. Because when you get to the training, you're going to go to basic training and everything. In both cases, you're going to go to basic training. If you go to special forces, you're going to go to basic training. If you go into the 75th Ranger Regiment, but, once you actually get to the legit training and the selection process, whether it's RASP or the Special Forces selection selection process or whatever, you want to make sure that the physical aspect is one of the least difficult things to worry about, because it's going to become a very mental thing. So if you're doing one of those things like 18 X-ray, you want to make sure you're maxing out that 300 APFT for sure. Do you get to pick your battle buddy? So King Sauce 04, a lot of people apparently don't understand the whole battle buddy thing. I've explained it I don't know how many times on this channel, whether it's a live stream, maybe I mentioned it a little bit or for a short second on a video. I've never made a dedicated video on battle buddies, but it's just whoever. Your battle buddy is anybody that's in the Army, right? A lot of times I talk about, you're going to go somewhere, you got to go talk to a drill sergeant. When you speak to a drill sergeant at basic training, you have to have a battle buddy with you. You will never talk to a drill sergeant by yourself. Even if they're just sitting over there and everybody's over here, you can't go and talk to a drill sergeant by yourself. You have to have a battle buddy with you all the time. And how do you pick your battle buddy? It's just like, hey, bro, do you want to go with me to talk to drill sergeant such and such? And they'll be like, yes. Or, we have to go somewhere else. Your battle buddy is just whoever's next to you. Dream place to be deployed. I want to go where the action's at. So, like people said, Iraq, Afghanistan, anywhere where I will actually do my job. I don't want to get deployed and then do nothing, if that makes sense. So I really don't care. Like, I'm not like want to get deployed. Well, you don't get deployed to Germany. I don't want to get sent over there for a training exercise or anything like that. I don't want to go to Korea, because there's really nothing probably going to happen right now. I want to go somewhere where I can actually do my job as somebody who's in the Army. I don't want to, do nothing. Anyways, thanks for the input, Matt. Thoughts on 31 Bravo? With specific MOSs, like, I don't really have, thoughts or like, is it good, is it bad? It's just, it could be good or bad. People could like or dislike any MOS. Literally any MOS. You could either love it or you could hate it. It just depends on the person. Do you use supplements, whey, creatine, etc.? Yes, I do. If you didn't know, I'm sponsored by BPN. Awesome company. I've been sponsored by them for a while, working with them. They just came out with their new Embrace the Suck pre-workout, which is freaking awesome. I'm really pumped for that. But yes, I'll take, I'm not on creatine currently, but I'll take creatine cycles, and I'll cycle on and off of that. And then I do take protein shakes every now and again. I haven't really been taking them that much because I'm not trying to bulk up or anything. I'm not trying to like right now I'm not trying to build muscle. I'm just kind of working out to maintain, and I'm doing a little bit of MMA training stuff. So my shoulders have been killing me because fighting and everything like that. Like it just for me right now, my shoulders haven't gotten conditioned enough yet for that. So that's that. But yeah, I do take supplements. I take BPN supplements. You know, I was always 10% discount with code WARD if you check them out in the description. Hey, be my battle buddy, Matt. Ha ha ha. JK. Yeah, sure. I'll be your battle buddy. Power Alpha Gaming. If we're ever in the same spot. Actually, if you're enlisted, I guess technically I can't be your battle, but I mean I could. But hello from Fort Eustis. Wow. Hello, hello. 25 Quebec. Which one is 25 Quebec? I'm just gonna Google the MOS because I don't remember all the specific things all the time. 25 Q Army. Multi-channel transmission systems operator. Not 100% sure, really. Not 100% sure. Multi-channel systems operator. U.S. Army multi-channel systems operator works directly on communication devices and equipment that communicate through more than one channel. It's pretty self-explanatory right there. What's the difference in whey and creatine? Creatine is, well, they're totally different. Whey is like a type of protein or a type of source that they get protein from. You don't have to have whey protein, and creatine is just something that basically opens up your blood vessels to allow more blood to flow and things like that. So, you play Fortnite? Nope, never played Fortnite before. Hey, I'm sorry I haven't been in streams, went to basic training, and finally I'm 2 weeks away from graduating AIT. Dylan Griffin, no worries. Congratulations on graduating basic training, and almost pre-congratulations on graduating AIT. That's freaking awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, if you guys go to basic training, I understand that literally like the vast majority of people that watch my videos are eventually going to go to basic training and for a long period of time just not watch any videos, which is perfectly okay because then I did my job. I prepared you for basic training. I prepared you for the military, and yeah, that's what I did. I did my job. Do infantry officers ever see combat? Yes, they do. Of course they do. Binging your videos the last few days, had to remind myself I am too old now for that kind of fun. Good luck, sir. Tom, what do you mean you're too old for joining the military? I'm sorry to hear that, but thank you that you obviously enjoyed some of the videos if you were apparently binge watching them, which I always think is funny to hear. I still think this whole YouTube thing is kind of just crazy to me. Do length of deployments vary between different MOSs? Yes and no, they do. A lot of time, I think like now Reserve and National Guard deployments are longer. They're longer and they're maybe a little bit less frequent. So you're going to be deployed for longer, but it's going to be less frequent. And if you're active duty, you'll be deployed for a shorter amount of time, but it's more frequent, if that makes sense. And then if you're a 75th Ranger Regiment, you're going to basically deploy for 3 to 4 months once a year. And, sometimes, you might go for a 6-month deployment. You might go for whatever. But it kind of varies between MOS. But your MOS kind of will dictate what type of unit that you're in. And then that dictates it. So, yes, but kind of indirectly, I think. And there's really no way to tell. So, people ask if XYZ MOS gets deployed more than another one. There's really no way to tell because so much in the military is dependent upon what unit you go to. Just because you have this one specific MOS, right? You could have your battle buddy who you went to AIT with. He has the same MOS as you. He joined at the exact same time as you. But you two will go to 2 completely different units with different missions, with different people and commands and everything like that. And your roles in those units are going to be a little bit different. And then that unit's mission is going to be a little bit different. So one might deploy more. One might, deploy to a specific area. One might go to freaking, South America. It just depends on the unit that you go to. You know, are you going to be able to get airborne after AIT? It depends on what unit you go to if you didn't get it on your initial contract. So, yeah. Just wanted to say you're pretty much my role model, and I hope that, and I hope what you tell all us help me. I bet it will. Well, what I tell you guys might help in certain different circumstances, right? So just because, like, if you watch every single one of my videos, it's going to help you in the fact that it's going to get your mindset a little bit more ready for the military. You're going to know what to expect a little bit more. You're going to be not as worried or scared of what's going to happen. You might pick up a few tips. You might acknowledge a few things, like whenever you go to a board, you might, if you watch my video on boards and how to get promoted faster, if you watch some of my videos, you might actually think to yourself, yeah, I should actually go to this board, whereas other people are like, no, I don't want to do that. Then you'll get promoted faster. So things that I talk about can help you, but a lot of it will just help you in preparing for basic training. Some of the things you can kind of continue on, and then I've talked about how to be a good leader and things like that. So, yeah. Yeah. Andrew, it's going good. It's going good. Is the ASVAB test really that hard? So for those of you that just listened at the very beginning of this, I talked about how people ask me that all the time. Is it hard? It's just depending on you. For me, it wasn't bad. For other people, it's the hardest thing ever. I DM'd you a few weeks ago. Well, if it's a few weeks ago and I hadn't replied, it's probably buried in a lot of messages. But yeah. Tips for deploying to Iraq. Well, I haven't been deployed yet. As most of you guys know, I haven't been deployed. And I guess maybe next year I could. I got to finish my BOLIC, my basic officer leadership course first. But preparing for deployment, I think a lot of it is kind of preparing your mindset, kind of like preparing for basic training. You want to kind of understand the area where you're going into. You want to, actually research the culture of the area, because that could be life or death, And that's really been stressed from the officer's perspective. So if I'm going to Iraq, if I'm going to Afghanistan, Syria, anywhere in the country, you're going to know ahead of time where you're going. And so what you should do, and like I said, this is really important for officers, is research the culture, right? Research, what things mean, right? Because, it's like the common thing. It's like, you don't shake people with your left hand in certain cultures. That's really offensive. So you don't want to do things that might seem simple to you, but it would cause bad relations with people. So if you're over there in another country and you're working with the local forces, you don't want to do anything that's going to offend them, even because if you're enlisted, you are going to be working kind of side by side and with some of these foreign militaries. So having an understanding of their culture will not only show them that you kind of respect their culture and that kind of build a relationship, but it's also going to keep away some of the bad things that can happen. Because if you're in a specific situation and you're overseas in some foreign country and you get caught in a big argument, and it's just you don't really know what to do. It's like, do you look them in the eyes? Is it offensive to turn your back to them when you're walking away, or is it offensive not to turn your back to them whenever you're walking away? So there's all these different small things that you need to think about. And then personally, I think that getting an understanding of where you're going, if you're going to Iraq, actually researching some of the conflicts that have been going on there recently, if specifically the city, the area that you're going to, researching what's been going on there, so that you're going to have a better overall mindset, because literally that could end up saving your life and other people's lives around you, especially, if you happen to be in a situation where you're trying to, solve a dispute. So anyways, I heard they're reducing the amount of infantry MOSs. Is that true? I feel like they always say that, but I don't know. I wouldn't think so. Talk with your spouse, blah, 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 blah. Hey, Matt. I'm enlisted in the National Guard Cav Scouts, and my dream is to go to sniper schools. Does it have to be in the contract? No, you're not going to get sniper school in your contract. And being National Guard, it will be not very likely that you're going to get to go to sniper school, because all these schools and stuff, there has to be a need for you to go there, right? Especially being National Guard, your unit is going to pay for you to go. So when you get to your units, you know, your recruiters will make it seem like a lot of times these schools are easy to go to, but it's not like you can just roll up to your unit and be like, hey, I want to go to sniper school, and then they're just going to send you. Like, it's not like that. Like, they need somebody who is qualified as a sniper. They need that, and then being in the National Guard, your unit is going to pay for you to go to the school, right? If you're active duty, it's going to be a little bit easier because you're getting paid active duty paid anyways. But in the National Guard, you're only getting paid for your drill weekends and stuff, and so if you were to go to sniper school, for that training, you're going to be active duty. You're going to have to be. They're going to have to pay addition for the actual training and stuff like that. So it's going to cost them, you know, probably tens of thousands of dollars, and they have to, you know, there needs to be a reason for you to do that. They can't just send everybody to whatever school they want to go to. So, anyways, why do people go homeless in the Army? Also, what's the best plan when active duty and having a wife and child? You know, I think number one, a lot of the homeless people that you see on the side of the road that claim that they're a veteran, I think are not veterans. I think that if somebody is a homeless veteran, a lot of times maybe they got a dishonorable discharge, which is almost kind of like getting a felony, so it would be hard to get a job. But, you know, I mean, I personally, like, if somebody joined the military and they were in for 4 years, and then they got out and they couldn't find a job, they couldn't, like, they were just, like, they couldn't adapt to civilian life. Well, you can just join the military back, you know, and just stay in and retire, and then you're going to retire with a lot of experience and a retirement check and everything like that. So it's just like, to me, when I see people who are homeless vets, I either think that they're lying or they got a dishonorable discharge, kind of thing. And, you know, yeah, that's just what I want to say about that. We got a super chat here from Justin Lipper. How do you ensure that you get into the right MOS if it's on your contract? Is it guaranteed? Yes. So how do you ensure you get into the right MOS? I assume right is like, you know, you pick the MOS and you get into the exact same one. Well, you're going to, when you go to the recruiter's office, after you take the ASVAB, they're going to put the MOS that you want on hold. Then when you go to MEPS and you go through all that whole process, after everything is over at MEPS, you're going to sit down with a counselor. They're going to show you your contract and you're going to sign it. And like, it's a legit contract. Like, they're not, like, you can't break your end of the contract, and the Army isn't supposed to break their end of the contract, right? So if you sign up for a specific MOS and you sign a contract, that's a contract between you and the United States government, and it's a contract. Like, it's a legitimate contract. So anyways, is National Guard pay different from reserves or active duty? Yes, it's different from active duty pay, and it is the same exact pay as the reserves. But active duty, you're active duty, so it's a full-time job. National Guard and reserves is technically a part-time job. You get retirement pension after 20 years. Yep. Da-da-da. Hey, I remember you saying you were able to go home right after AIT, right before AIT, after basic training. Since I don't live close to where I'm attending basic training, do I do that weekend before AIT? So if you don't live close to either one of the posts that you're going to go to, then you're probably not going to go home, because what will happen, the reason I got to go home was because I lived fairly close, like right on the limit. I think it was like 150 miles. Like, you know, I'm like right there on that limit of 150 miles. So if you live farther than that away from your AIT, then you're not going to be able to go home. So that's that. And holy camole, Jake, wow, you kind of almost just gave me a heart attack. Anyways, just graduated from 1 station unit training at Benning. Congratulations, if that is not even a word, but it's whatever. Onward to airborne. Oh, that's awesome. Can't wait to come back to barracks to watch more content. Keep up the awesome work. 18 X-ray bound. That is freaking sick. So congratulations. Congrats on the 18 X-ray contract. I hope all that selection and everything goes well for you. Keep pushing it and everything. So, yeah, God, but Jesus Louise, I'm kind of, you know, Jake, you're the man. Or is it, yeah. Good Lord. That's going to stay up there on the super chat for quite a while. Anyways, BVS Fang. I got a 94 ASVAB. I'm talking to the Army National Guard and Navy tomorrow. Do you have any advice on getting the MOS I want, or just general advice? So you should be able to get any job that you want, because the AFQT is like this. It's like that's like your ASVAB score, unless for some reason I'm thinking of a different acronym. But it, tips on getting. Wait, you're talking to National Guard and Navy. I'm not sure about the Navy, or even if you can really select the MOS that you want. I know in the Army you can select your MOS. In the Marines, I don't think you maybe can. In the Air Force, I think you pick like a category or something. I'm not sure exactly how the Navy works. But in the National Guard, when you're picking your MOS, it's gonna be dependent on the area that you're at, or the state that you live in, right? So one of the problems that occur with National Guard and Reserve soldiers picking your job, I made a video on this, on why it's so difficult. But to sum it up, when you're National Guard and Reserves, you're going to be going to drilling at some unit. And whenever you enlist, you're going to basically select that unit. And at that unit, there's only going to be so many MOSs available. And in certain parts of the country, there's some MOSs, and then there's not other MOSs. So if you're in the National Guard in your state, let's say North Carolina, there's a lot of transportation units, right? So if you're wanting to do something kind of transportation related, yeah, sure, you're gonna get that. But if you want to do maybe be some chemical soldier or some other MOS that's not in North Carolina, then you're gonna have to look outside of the state, which you can't do if you're in the National Guard. You can if you're in the Reserves, but you're kind of limited to the area, right? If that makes sense. So that's kind of just so you can get your mindset right. So like if you're looking at the MOSs, the available MOSs with your recruiter, just know that in the National Guard and the Reserves, it's going to be a smaller list of available MOSs. For active duty, you got the whole Army's your playing ground pretty much. So anyways, we got another super chat, $5 super chat from Jennifer Adams. I really appreciate your videos. It has helped me cope with my fiance joining the Army. He is graduating from Fort Benning next week. What's Fort Benning like? So Fort Benning is very hot, and if he's graduating right now, he's graduating if he's graduating in 2 weeks, he's graduating about 2 weeks, or he's graduating next week, so he's graduating about 2 weeks from whenever I graduated Benning, because I graduated the end of July. So it's been hot. That's kind of, what Benning is. I think the actual post itself, Benning, is pretty cool. It's pretty nice. That's where a lot of training stuff goes down. You got Ranger training there, you got infantry, you got airborne school and everything. So Fort Benning's a pretty big base. So what's it like? I think it's one of the nicer Army posts. I'm not really sure how to really describe what's an Army post like. It's just like you got these buildings, and then you got some military equipment stuff and everything, and you got a PX, and you got, some restaurants and whatnot. It's kind of like a little town, So that's kind of what it's like, and yeah. The Panthers Cup is making Matt money. Oh yeah, Panthers. If you guys didn't know, I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. Do they help you get a better score on the ASVAB once it's accepted? What do you mean to help you get a better score? Like, once you actually join, there's no reason for you to get a better ASVAB than if you wanted to switch your MOS, right? So if you wanted to switch your MOS to another MOS and you didn't have a high enough ASVAB score, then yes, you could retake it. But there's no real classes or anything that the Army is going to give you to help you study for the ASVAB. If that's what you're asking. And your recruiter, if you're asking if your recruiter is going to help, your recruiter will probably just refer you, similar to how I do, to different books or things that will help you study for the ASVAB. Because at the end of the day, it's up to you to do your due diligence and study to do well. If you were given an opportunity to try being in special operations, would you try to see if you can pass that test or no? Well, I am very certain that I think I could pass the test, I guess you could say. I think that a lot of things in the military is just a matter of not quitting. So a lot of people will quit, and then that's why they fail. A lot of people will not prepare enough, and I would for sure prepare, I think, or at least I would do my best. So I think that I would pass that part, right? My thing is I wouldn't want to be in the Special Forces right now with my current job. If I had the opportunity to be attached to or deploy with Special Forces, then yes, I would love to do that. And if you guys didn't know, you can be non-Special Forces and get attached to the Special Forces and get attached to that unit, get your unit attached to them to support them or something like that. And that would be something that I would really enjoy or prefer. And holy moly mackerel. Man, oh man, oh man. Let's look at this Faith Potato Mary first with the $5 super chat. Freaking awesome. Besides not complaining, do you have any other advice for women who have a deep desire to join the Army Reserves? Yeah, so I guess especially now since the PT test is going to be basically, it's going to be gender neutral. Advice for women is don't pull the women card, right? I'm a female. You're going to be a soldier, right? You're not going to be necessarily a female. Like you're a soldier. You're wearing the same uniform that everybody else is wearing, kind of thing. So you get that mindset. But I mean, whenever I talked about in my video, like not complaining, like it just, people get really upset whenever you say that. Like if you're just saying like in general, like that's kind of the case or whatever, or at least it's more greatly exaggerated when people think about it or talk about it or whatever. But I think I would have to get a better understanding of who you are to give you more specific advice than that. But you're just going to be in the military. I think we are doing a lot better basically on a daily basis to improve the culture of males and females, and I think the more that female soldiers are incorporated in combat enlists, the better it's going to be. Cody with the ginormous $50 super chat. I mean, look at the freaking, and we got another, oh my gosh. Jeez. I'm leaving basic training in Benning tomorrow. 11 extra. Your tips and advice have been more than helpful the last year. You already know that your videos will be the first I come back to in 22 weeks. Man, so 22 weeks. Are you doing the is he doing the longer one? But anyways, you're leaving tomorrow. Good Lord. So good luck to you for leaving tomorrow. That's freaking awesome. Enjoy tonight. So get off of this stream. Get off of this stream and go enjoy time with your family and stuff like that, because I think that is really important. Have fun at 30th AG this week because you're going to hate it. So have fun at 30th AG, man. But yeah, man, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all you guys right now. Like, it's kind of blowing me away. I don't know what to think or say right now. I'm like flabbergasted, or if that's the right word. Lone Wolf 308. Hey, brother, thank you for the time you had. Oh, gosh, I can't talk. Like I said, I'm flabbergasted. Thank you for the time you take to talk with us. Leave for Fort Benning in November with the Christmas break. What can I do to stay in the mindset for when I go back to finish up? Also, have you ever done CrossFit? I've never been to like a CrossFit gym, but I mean, I've done, I guess, CrossFit exercises. But yeah, so that's actually a good thought to have. Man, that's a good thought to have. So if you go to basic training, November-ish time, like, around Christmas, you're going to be forced to go home. You're going to have to go home for those 2 weeks. And when you come back, it is going to suck a little bit because you're going to or at least the days leading up, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go back to basic training. This sucks. I just want to get it over with kind of thing. But keeping yourself in the mindset, well, number one, just please don't do anything stupid whenever you're back home. But make sure you keep on exercising, because a lot of people will go home for those 2 weeks during Christmas and everything, and they're not going to really do anything. They're not going to be doing running. Like, at least make sure you're still doing push-ups and running, right? So do push-ups, because when you get back, the drill sergeants are going to smoke you. They're going to make sure that you throw up all the food that you got from your Christmas break and everything. But as far as getting back in the mindset, just know that it's just go and enjoy it, but then keep in mind that you're still going back to the basic training environment. I don't know, like I haven't ever done anything like that. You know, that's something that I should probably think about doing a video kind of with my little brother, because my little brother is graduating from basic training in about 20 days or so, and he's doing split ops. So he's doing basic training, and then next year he's going to go to AIT, so he's splitting it up. And so something I would like to talk with him about is like his experience has been like, you know, having that big gap between basic training and AIT, because it's similar to what you're talking about with the Christmas break, and it's like it's nice to want to go home, but then at the end of the day, whenever you have to go back, you kind of just like, I wish I would have just got it over with kind of thing. But yeah, that's kind of what I want to say about that, you know. Is it true that anybody can do ROTC in college? Like, people don't have to be in a contract or enlisted to do it? Yes, that is true. I've talked about that in a lot of my ROTC videos that I've done. ROTC in college, unless you are contracted, is kind of just like a class. You know, you can take ROTC as a class and get a military science minor in college. And the labs and all, going to PT and all that stuff is not going to be mandatory. You will not have to do that. You can just go to the class and you will learn things about, you know, the military. So you'll get a military science minor. You do not have to be pursuing a contract. There are a lot of people who are enlisted soldiers and they will take ROTC, and they'll just take ROTC and they won't be pursuing a commissioning. So yeah. Hey Matt, what is the process in becoming a military doctor from the beginning? Sign up. Okay, I'm not. Well, that's good. I hate that because you're asking me like the exact process. That is something that I would not know. That's why I hate, like, I wouldn't want to say that, so I would have to literally just kind of like Google the exact process. Again, I don't know everything, especially when you're talking about specifics of a process of something that I'm not in the medical field. So if you're talking about wanting to be like a 68 whiskey, right, a combat medic or some other medic or some other enlisted MOS, you're just going to enlist. You know, if you want to be like one of the officer nursing MOSs or in the med services, you're going to have to go the officer route. So anyways, Hannah, you're so inspirational. I love this channel so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really do. Jake Tucker, some classes are 22 weeks, blah, 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 14, 6 weeks. Justin, you just super chatted. What are you doing, man? Thank you. I really appreciate it. I want 17, Charles. You want to go cyber? And it looks like that MOS isn't very available right now because it's very competitive. It is the hardest MOS to get into. If you were me, would you wait until it's open or would you settle for another one with hopes to reclass later? I think it depends on how badly you want to get cyber, but it also depends on how good you are at cyber. So if you don't have any programming experience, I would suggest doing another one because you may not even qualify for cyber because they're generally trying to take people who have computer experience, whether it's programming experience or some years in the field or in the civilian sector actually doing IT stuff. So if you have no IT experience and you just want to do cyber, I would not recommend it. But that's why it's not available right now, because 17 series is it's brand new in the military. We just created the cyber branch in 2016, so 2 years ago. And it's just so highly sought after, and they're trying to fill things. But you could talk to, I guess, the recruiter and kind of what he thinks with it. You know, you're going to have to score really high on the ASVAB. You're going to have to take additional tests and screenings and stuff like that. You're going to have to get top secret clearance and everything, which is cool. But you could also end up switching later on. But I just don't recommend doing that in a way, because it's just like, it just depends on how bad you want it. If you don't really want it that bad, then do another MOS. But if it's like the only thing you want, then I would really try to pursue that and wait for it if you need to. So anyways, do you know if there's a difference in training in the different Ranger battalions? I would assume that it is the same. So from the 3 Ranger bats, I would assume it's the same. And we got Brittany over here, like being ridiculous. Jeez Louise. Hey Matt, I've never been able to catch your live streams before. Well, you got one now. And I just want to say a huge thank you. Your videos have helped both me and Jake during his training. We both appreciate you. Keep being awesome. You and Jake. Did Jake do the other super chat? Jake, the insane super chat? Is that the Jake that you're talking about? Because dang, I really appreciate both of you. That's awesome. But yeah, like that's one of the things that I didn't expect doing these YouTube videos. You know, this another person, you know, their fiancés in, they have family members in. Like when I first started making these videos, like you guys have to understand, like I made them with the intention of helping a couple dozen, a couple hundred people, you know, who wanted to know a few things about basic training and get their mindset right and help them prepare. Like I never expected for family members and stuff to watch my videos for them to understand what their significant others are going through, or for them to kind of cope with the whole thing, because the military it's not just the one person joining, it's the one person's deciding to join, but it's kind of bringing everybody else into the Army lifestyle, the military lifestyle. So anyways, hey Matt, glad to catch you live. Chi, where did the name go? It just went away. Gosh dang, I hate it whenever I'm looking at it and just the scroll just pops up. Same here, finally caught a live stream, appreciate the advice. There's a lot of people who is like their first live stream. Jake, yes sir, enjoying family weekend between West Station Unit Training and Airborne. That is awesome. Well yeah, enjoy it. You guys just get off the stream. Just get off the stream and go enjoy your time. Sour Patch Kids, I haven't had Sour Patch Kids in a while. But yeah, like I remember for those of you who are like the OG guys who are around for my 10,000 subscriber video, and I shot with my brother-in-law 500 rounds, and then I did the 10,000 calorie challenge, and I tried to eat a whole bunch of Sour Patch Kids as a part of my 10,000 calorie challenge. That was not the greatest idea in the world. That's kind of, I think, kind of a little funny video if you guys want to watch it, but I failed at the 10,000 calorie challenge. Just spoiler alert. Because I've trained myself to not eat a lot. Do you have a Discord or a Steam account? I do have a Discord and I do have a Steam. I got Discord with the intention of doing it to work with you guys and stuff on that, but I just haven't had the time to kind of figure out how the whole thing works. So I do have a Discord and I have a Steam, but my Steam account is just like, you know, I have like what's that game called? Counter-Strike? Is it Counter-Strike? Some game on there on my PC. We got Colin Griffin. Wait, hold on. I missed the super chat. Parker Kelly, what do you know about the 35 mic MOS? Well, let me look it up again. Like I said, I don't remember every single MOS. 35 mic. Human Intelligence Collector. That's interesting. The Human Intelligence Collector is responsible for information collecting operations. In addition to the ASVAB, the Army uses the Defense Language Aptitude Battery to evaluate how well a native English speaker can learn a new language. Interesting. Human Intelligence... So, from the very... I mean, obviously, I don't really know that much about it. But from the 5-second Google search that I did... the only thing I could, I guess, really tell you is you would have to be really good at, you're going to be making decisions because you're going to be a 35 series, you're going to be MI, military intelligence, and you're really going to be, you know, in a deployed environment, you know, really looking at people, and you're going to be watching people on screens with UAVs. You're going to be, you know, analyzing people's patterns and things like that. So that's what I could tell you about that from what I can just get a gist of it. But as far as the specifics of it, I don't know. But I think that actually seems like a pretty cool MOS, especially if you're kind of into the whole military intelligence planning kind of thing, trying to evaluate humans and what they're planning, what they're going to do. Are they good or are they bad? I think that's really interesting. Colin, I ship in a week to Fort Sill. I've been preparing for the APFT daily. When is the first APFT? Is it before or after reception? It is after reception. So when you're at reception, you're probably going to do... from what I can remember, a 1 mile run. You're going to do a 1 mile run, which is like an assessment, and then we did 1 pull-up. I think that is all that we did. You can watch my reception video to get my older memory of it, because the longer I go, the more vague reception gets, right? A lot of my basic training experiences are more ingrained into me, but reception, I just want to forget that and just like get it out of my life kind of thing, because 30th AG is just the most boring time of your life. But the day you arrive at basic training, right, you're going to do a 1-1-1 assessment, which is a 1 minute run, or a 1 mile run, a 1 minute of push-ups, and 1 minute of sit-ups. You're going to do that the day you get there. So you're gonna get to basic training in some morning time, and then the first full morning that you wake up, you're gonna take a 1-1-1. Anyways, did I miss another? No, that was from one before. If you need help setting up Discord, we could probably help. I'm sure I have somebody who I know uses it. I know another fellow YouTuber who uses it with his subscribers and stuff, and I will be working with him whenever I do decide to do something with it. But right now, it's been very hard for me to find times for things. So, and we got 2 new super chats back to back. This is insane. Jessica, my brother is at Fort Benning split ops right now, and just told us today he has improved to passing his PT thanks to your tips. I mailed him. How are events scored? Can you really fail for missing 1 push-up? Yes, you can fail for missing 1 push-up. So if the standard is 40 push-ups and you do 39, you fail. And for the APFT, there's 3 categories: push-ups, sit-ups, mile or 2 mile run. If you fail any one of those categories, then you fail the whole thing. So you could do outstandingly well on the push-ups and the sit-ups, but if you fail the 2 mile run by 1 second, then you fail, right? Although I will say, if you fail the 2 mile run by a second, by literally a second or even 2 seconds maybe, sometimes they might be a little bit lenient and just give you the time that you need to pass. So that's just a thing to think about. But the scoring system, you could look up, depending on his age, you can look up what scores he needs to hit. So Duke over here with another $10 super chat. Matt, I love your videos. They keep me focused on my Army goals. Well, that's good. That is good. I was wondering if a type of degree matters. I was thinking of getting a BA in Homeland Security before I join. Does that help or hurt at all? It will. All right, so getting a bachelor's, yes, will help you, but it's not going to matter what bachelor's you get, like what major you get. The reason being is, number one, when you get promoted from E1 to E4, it's just a time and service thing. You can just get promoted, right? But once you make to the NCO rank and you're trying to get promoted to NCO, the more things you have on your resume, then the more likely you are to get promoted, the more likely you are to get promoted faster, right? So getting your bachelor's degree is good. And then if you keep going up in the NCO ranks, it's basically required for you to have a bachelor's degree to become, I think, an E7. I think you have to have a 4-year degree to be an E7. It might be E8, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure you need a 4-year degree to become an E7, which is a sergeant first class. But again, the major is not going to matter. You just need the degree, kind of like for being an officer. When you're an officer and you're taking like ROTC or something, you're going to do OCS, it doesn't matter what degree you have. It would matter if you were going to a specific MOS. So like if you want to be a cyber officer, you want to have kind of like a computer science major. But if you're wanting to be, I don't know, really any other, well, most other MOSs, it doesn't really matter what major you get. Do a COD live stream after. I am going to a Call of Duty live stream after. I'm going to do this for at least like an hour or so, and then I'm going to do a Call of Duty live stream. I'm going to play a little bit of Call of Duty, and then I'm going to edit tomorrow's video. So, secure the bag. What? What are you talking about? I need custom emotes. Do you need to pack your bags in the day the day of your ASVAB. No, you don't need to pack your bags the day you take the ASVAB. Faith Mary. I need to get in shape. How much time should I take before I consider joining? I agree that these videos are amazing and help so much. Thanks. So how much time should you take before you consider joining? Well, that is one of those questions where it's kind of up to you. But you definitely, in my opinion, should be at the very least, I think, passing the PT test before going to basic training. You can go to basic training with the physical capabilities lacking in the area of taking the APFT. You could be failing when you first arrive to basic training, but your life is going to be a little bit more difficult. So I would suggest getting yourself to a point where you can actually pass the PT test before going to basic training. The better you're doing, the better off you're going to be. How much time you need? I think just get things out of the way like that you want to do beforehand. Like, don't stress about it too much. If you're going to active duty, maybe there's something that you want to do on the civilian side. I mean, for me, whenever I decided that I wanted to join, it was like I joined and like I knew I wanted to join. But there are some people out there that want to do a few things before they actually join the military, and if that's you, then that's you. So the time needed, I think, that's kind of up to you. Thanks, you're the best. Thank you for your service. Well, thank you, Legoland. Want to play some Black Ops 4? I'm on the Xbox, so my beta's not out yet. Next weekend, though, I will 100%. I'll be live streaming the Black Ops 4 beta a lot, unless I end up hating the game. If I hate it, then I'm probably not going to live stream it that much. But next weekend, the Black Ops 4 beta comes out for the Xbox, and I will be playing it. And we got Ellen over here. Sorry I'm late. I'm putting primer on my truck fenders. Always nice to see your face, bro. Thanks for all the info. Well, get back to work. I'm just kidding. Nice seeing you too, Ellen. You're in at least every basically live stream for 2 seconds. But if you make this one, that is awesome. Ellen is awesome. She made my big flag over here. For those of you who are curious, the big flag that I have in the back of my videos over here, that's Ellen. What do you think of the ACFT? I think that the ACFT is going to be very tricky. I think overall it's an improvement of a test on testing your combat capabilities and everything, but I still think that, I don't know, it's just a lot of equipment planning and everything like that. And from what I've learned from my last video that I made about the ACFT, you're basically going to have a 2-minute rest, I believe, in between each event. So that's going to be interesting. The one thing that I'm worried about, though, is I've seen a few mock chart scores on how they're going to score things. Because if you guys didn't know, it's going to be gender neutral and age neutral. So no matter what age you are, no matter what gender you are, there's going to be a standard, right? And the only thing that's going to change is your MOS. So if you are in a combat MOS, a moderately combat MOS, or a support non-combat MOS, it's going to be more difficult or easier. And from what I've seen is for the easier side, from the mock scores, they haven't released official scores. I'm like, holy cow, this is not good. This is way too easy. I think for the lower end on the non-combat, it's the 2-mile run time is 20 minutes. If you can get it in 20 minutes, that's the passing, right? And for males right now, if you're 18 to if you're 18 to 22 or 21, 17 to 21, and then 22 to 26 or whatever the age group is, you need to get a 16:30-ish, depending on the age group that you're in, a 16:30 to pass the 2-mile run. And if all of a sudden they change that to 20 minutes, basically a little over 20 minutes, to 4 minutes more, 4 minutes more for a 2-mile run, that is just asking for trouble. I think that is just asking for trouble. I really hope it's not true. Because even for females, I don't know. I feel like it's the new ACFT is age neutral. So a 17-year-old and a 40-year-old have the same standard. I think that's a little bit ridiculous. I think that You know, maybe the age from 21 to 31 will be the same. Like, I feel like maybe they should broaden that a little bit, but it's like, why would a 50-year-old, because there's old people that are in the military. You know, why would a 50-year-old have the same standard, you know, as far as the PT test goes as a 20-year-old? Like, that's a little bit weird to me. But, you know, like a 20-year-old female, 20-year-old male, yeah, you can have the same standard, but it's just like, that's like, I don't know. Can you join ROTC even if you don't pass the PT test? No, you have to be passing the PT test, and you have to be doing good on the PT test. You will, I would go as far to say you will not get contracted as a cadet if you are if you're doing average on the PT test. You need to be doing really well on your PT test in order to get contracted. But taking ROTC as the class, just for the class, not to pursue a commission as an officer, you don't need to take an ASVAB ever. The basics at basic training I ship out in 14 days. The basics at basic training. If you're asking for the tips, like the basic tips of basic training, you know, do what the drill sergeants say. Don't get involved with the wrong crowd at basic training. Show up right place, right time, right uniform. Watch out for your battle buddy. Remind your battle buddies to do the right thing. Never fall asleep if you want to not get in trouble. Video related to that tomorrow. Yeah, those are the basics. Do good on your PT test. Encourage your battle buddies. Help them do better. Hallie. Is that really Hallie, my niece? If it is that you jumping dancing? What's up, Hallie? I'm pretty sure that's you. Hello. Oh, please, no politics. Did somebody ask about politics? I don't know. I missed the politic thing. Oh, okay, Hallie. Yeah, Hallie Perry is my niece. So, for all y'all, if you want to say hey to Hallie, you can go ahead and say hey to Hallie. But anyways, oh yeah, so I'm about to reach the hour point. Call of Duty live stream, yeah. So I'm about to reach the hour point. So what I'm going to do is I will get off of here in a little while. I'm going to take like a short little breather break, and then I will get back on in probably like 5 or 10 minutes, and I will be doing a Call of Duty live stream. We're still going to be answering questions and things like that, but I'm just going to be also playing Call of Duty. So, yeah, that's going to be going on here in just a minute. So, if you want to, you guys yourself who've been watching this live stream for a long time, like how many, let me ask, I've never asked, like how long have you been watching? Have you only been watching for like 10 minutes and you just joined? Or who has been an OG and been watching it from the beginning of the stream? Because there's only 87 people on here, so there's like 40 people that dropped out. So, geez. I've already been demoted from moderator once. I think I remember doing that, yeah. Do you have COD World War II? Yes, I will play Call of Duty World War II. I don't think I'm going to play Black Ops 3 because the Black Ops 4 beta is next week, but I don't think I'm going to play the Black Ops 3 to prepare for Black Ops 4 because I don't like the Black Ops 3 game that much because the boost jumping, so I'm going to stay boots on the ground today. 15 minutes. You just started. Sam Fisher, you just started, man. Well, I'm about to do a little Call of Duty, so anyways, been watching the whole thing. Lawson, you're awesome. OG, just joined. OG, since the beginning. Carlos Santos, you guys are awesome. I do not play Fortnite. That one dislike. Is there a dislike on the video? Man, you guys, I'm just kidding. I mean, if you dislike it, then you just dislike it. My gamer tag is Shoot'emUp1993. I will have that in the description once I actually do the Call of Duty stream. Anyways, I watch your videos from start to finish like days of our lives. That is great. Is there some type of physical training for a 16-year-old who plan on joining the military? So 16-year-old, if you're 16, that's the age where I tell people where you could actually start considering it more seriously because theoretically you could join at 17. But type of physical training, like I don't think there's a specific thing. Just focus on the same thing that other people would focus on. 20 minutes and 32 seconds. Oh, 20 minutes and 32. Contemplating joining. Thanks for all the info. Okay, I thought you were saying like 20 minutes and 32 seconds for like your 2-mile run time or something like that. But yeah, it's awesome. 32. I think you probably think that you're you're gonna get to basic training and there'll be, you know, no other body around you that's around your age, and I would say that that is not true, especially if you go in the off season. So if you go to basic training from June to like August, right? You're gonna get August, maybe September, but around that time, if you go during that period of time over the summer, you're gonna be with a lot higher concentration of high school graduates. A lot of people are gonna be like 18 years old, 17 years old, 19 years old. There's gonna be a lot of those people. But if you go in the off season, you know, you maybe go in February, January, whatever. I went in May, so high school was still in session, so there's a lot more older people. I think whenever I went, and I left for basic training in May, and I would say the average age was probably, most people were probably in their mid-20s, like 22 to 25. There was a few 19-year-olds. I think there was only one 18-year-old in my platoon, and then there was guys who were over there. They were 35-year-old, 32-year-old, 33, 31. So depending on when you go to basic training will also kind of dictate that. Since 5,000 subs, yes, I know, Edge, you have been here for quite a minute. How bad is being smoked in basic training? I kind of have a video on that tomorrow if you guys want to see my video tomorrow. Savage Patch Matt, yes, you can play. But yeah, my video tomorrow is about the worst smoking experience that I've gotten. I've talked about it on live streams and stuff before, but if any of you guys are new to the channel, you've probably not heard it. Because, I mean, at this point, I've made a couple of hundred videos. I'm probably pushing 300 videos at this point about not about Call of Duty, about the Army stuff. So it's kind of crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. Got any tips to convince my family to help me join right out of high school? Something that could probably help you a lot is watching the live stream that I did with my mom. I think that was really kind of beneficial. I talked with my mom about her opinion on me joining and how she was totally against it, but trying to convince people, you know, the sooner if you know you want to join, the earlier you can do it, the better. Because then you can convince them. If you do it now, if it's a mistake, you're going to be younger whenever you're out, and you're going to have all kinds of benefits at 22 years old that other 22-year-old people don't have. So, anyways, what should I wear to basic? It depends on when you go. So, if you go to basic training and you're going to graduate in the wintertime, wear jeans. If you're going to go to basic training and graduate in the summertime, wear shorts to basic training, just because you're only going to have that pair of clothes. So that's something little pro tip. During basic training, will I be able to send my wife money? I need peace of mind. Any tips? Well, the money that you're going to get paid from the military is going to be directly deposited into your bank account. So you could give her access to your bank account. A lot of times drill sergeant stuff, they don't recommend that as the smartest idea in the world. But there will be a few times when you get your cell phone, and if you want to take a couple minutes out of your cell phone time to go onto your phone app, whether it's like a Wells Fargo or whatever, or USA, and just send money, then you can do that. But anyways, why did my recruiter tell me I can't travel outside the U.S. before shipping out? Because I am 99% sure that's true. Because if you go to another country, that's one of the questions that I believe they ask you whenever you're joining is, have you been to another country outside of the U.S. in the past year or something like that? So if you go to another country and you come back, you're going to have to basically get like re-screened so that you haven't brought back any diseases or something kind of thing. Anyways, leaving for ALC tomorrow. Really? That is awesome. So you've been in for quite a while. That is awesome. Joining at age 24, is that too old? No, joining at age 24 is not too old whatsoever. The other guy's joining at 32. So you are not in the minority. Well, I mean, technically, I guess, because I would say most people who join are 18 to, I would say, 24. Or 23, like, low 20s. I would say most people that initially join. So it's not like 90% of the people that join are 18 years old. It's like 30, 40% that join initially enlisted, or maybe that, and then 30, 40% are in their mid-20s, and then there's another percentage that are in the 30s and whatnot. So anyways, I think that's going to be it. So what I'm going to do, for those of you that are watching this right now, in 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to get back on in live stream, but I'm going to be on the Xbox, and I'm going to be playing Call of Duty, because next weekend is the Black Ops 4 beta. I'm going to live stream with that with you guys. If you want to come onto the stream in the next couple of minutes and still ask me questions and stuff, I'm still going to be answering questions. I'm just going to also be playing Call of Duty and hanging out with you guys. And if you want to play Call of Duty with me, gamertag is Shoot 'em Up 1993. You could, if you want to play, send me a message, say invite, and I'll invite a few of you guys if you want to play. So yeah, but I won't be like talking in the chat. I've done that before or whatever, and it's distracting for me, and I want to talk with the chat instead of the game, and I'll just play the game. I will get on. Okay, Hallie. So, anyways, yeah. So send me a message. Preferably you're good at Call of Duty. No offense to anybody who's not good at Call of Duty, but I don't want to have a whole bunch of people. I don't want to have 5 players on my team going 1-20. It's okay to have like one that does that, but when you have a lot, where is the COD World War II? I'm about to play. Why is a lot of people getting on right now? So I'm going to get off of here. I will be back in a few minutes. So check back. Go get yourself a drink. Go to the bathroom, something like that. I don't know. But I will be back in a couple of minutes to chill with you guys for another hour or two. So I'll be back. PS4 is where it's at. No, it's not.